Yo, welcome to the Beat Lab podcast. Here as always with my guys, Leisure Suit.
What up?
And Marcus.
Yeah.
Nice. Dude, I'm pumped. We got our boy Cole Rolland on Skype. He's going to be talking with us today. Say hello to Cole.
What's up, dudes? What's going on,
man?
Bro?
What's up, brother?
Nice to meet you guys.
Dude,
Good.
It's super pumped to have you on, man, because, you know, we're fans of music here. And we've been following your podcast or your YouTube channel, man, and we were just blown away.
Dude, thank you. I'm glad you guys like it.
So where did you get your first big YouTube video? Was it through Fire and Flames that first started off? Because
oh man, yeah,
that thing is ridiculous.
Crazy. Like I kind of abandoned looking at like ever checking up on that video at this point because like it's just so far back. It's crazy that it was like almost 7 years ago. And kind of what happened with it was I did it completely for fun. Like, I used to be like obsessed with Dragon Force. So I think that's where I kind of like, I watched one of their videos back when I was really young and I saw that song was the first one. I was like, holy shit, I want to learn how to play like that. And I put up that video. It's obviously super hack. Like I'm like 15 years old and not really caring much for quality at that point. I put it up, like not even thinking anything of it. And this is, I think within the first 2.5, 3 years of YouTube being up. So there's not like a whole ton of people on it like there is now.
Yeah.
And, but it was still like really well recognized and stuff. Like it was growing exponentially.
How old were you at that time?
Yeah. Sorry guys. I put it up and then I guess I checked back on it a year and a half later when one of my friends was sent it to me and he's like, dude, you got some views on this. And I checked back on it and I had like 100,000, which at the time for someone who we put it up didn't even think anything of it, and looked back on it and I was like, whoa, people are actually watching this. And that's, I guess a lot of people say that's kind of like the motivation right there. It kind of like kicks your ass and you're like, oh, you know what, you could actually like maybe get something out of this. It'd be kind of cool.
Yeah. How old were you when you did that?
Like 15, man. It was a long time ago.
Is that the same age you were for Smooth Criminal?
No, actually, yeah. So like I said, I put up that Dragon Force video, waited like a year and a half before I actually even did anything else.
Okay.
And then by the time I started getting into videos, like when we did Smooth Criminal, I was 18. So it was quite a bit down the road from that.
Okay.
Right on, man. How old were you actually when you started playing?
10, but I wasn't playing consistently. For at least the first like 3 or 4 years, it would just be like here and there. And then I'd have interest in other things and not really take it too seriously. And then once I started doing the videos, then it became like, it's such a daily thing, maybe even a bit before that, but then it came like such a daily thing. I like recording all the time and I don't know, I just love doing it. So it was easy to get really invested in it, I guess.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, I think it's like when you're a kid and you start playing an instrument, you kind of dabble in it, you know, in the beginning until there's got to be something there, and that something is that triggers, you know, the desire to like keep grinding, you know.
Oh, definitely, man. Like you guys probably all play instruments, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. You guys probably had the exact same experience kind of thing, but sometimes like you don't hit like your instrument, you know what I mean? I mean, some people are like crazy multi-talented, but some people like it takes you like a while to find what like you're really into. Like a couple of my dad's friends are like in their 50s and stuff, and they're just picking up the guitar now. Like they're retired and stuff. They're picking up the guitar now and getting super into it. And they're like, oh wow, I wish I did this when I was like 20. So
You know that's Leisure Suit right here. You know, Leisure's what are you now? 37?
Oh, dude.
Let's just say 37. Let's just say 37.
I'm 38.
All right, he's 38. So Leisure's been friend with me for 15 years, right? And I've played in bands the whole time and this and that. And Leisure, you know, he's picked it up and put it down, picked it up and put it down. And now he's really like started to grind and pick up his craft, you know?
Man, dude, that's so relatable for a ton of people, I bet. Because it's all it takes is like, I always tell this to guitar students that are like really kind of struggling to keep up the consistency with it. And that's what you need to get good at anything, is to do it like a little bit every day, or like do it consistently, practice it hard. And it's always like, it was like one song or something that like just triggered it in their brain. They're like, I love doing this. Like, it's like a passion of mine now.
Yeah.
So Yeah, I'm actually. I want to point this out. Am I supposed to see you guys? Like, I can't. I can only see myself.
Hold on. Let's hook you up. Boom.
Hey, now this is so much better now. All right.
Yeah, I didn't want you like talking to the wall and feeling like.
Yeah, I was talking to your profile picture. You do like jujitsu or something?
Yeah. I'm a blue belt in jiu-jitsu. That's another
sweet,
one of
man.
my
A buddy of mine recently got into that. He loves it.
Oh, really? Have you tried it?
I've never tried it personally. I'm too fragile, man.
Man, they jiu-jitsu means the gentle art. It's.
I don't, man. You could have pulled that right out of your ass right now, and I have no idea if you're being serious or not.
No, I'm dead serious. That's what jiu-jitsu means. But no, it's super mellow. Right now I say it's super mellow, but I'm hurt from doing jiu-jitsu. But do you have any other interests, like other than music? Like, do you have any other hobbies?
I'm really into fitness and stuff, but no more than anybody that just likes to work out regularly and stay in shape. I'm really into that. I love video games. I'm a huge nerd when it comes to video games. And then, yeah, obviously just like it's not like really just guitar playing, but I got recently into like music producing in general. So we'll do, especially with the more recent covers, it'll be like everything from start to finish, from like, I even do like the business end of stuff a lot. So yeah, it's been, I don't know, turned into something so much bigger, but yeah.
We just had Lauren Babick on our podcast 2 weeks ago.
I have no idea who that is.
Yeah. I didn't think you knew who that was. Like, I just threw that name out there. But I've seen the covers that you guys have done together, and they're absolutely incredible.
Dude, thank you.
So
appreciate it.
You're doing all the programming for that, right? Are you writing the drums on Superior Drummer? You recording all the instruments?
Person that we sourced it out to is a friend of mine. His name's Xavier Adams, and he's in a band called Palisades. He's a guitar player for them.
Okay.
But he also sings backup, and he does our vocal production. So I'll be like kind of like the middleman with stuff. People will send me their raw vocal tracks, and then it goes on to him. He does like all his mixing and production with the vocals, which is like, man, that's a whole other kind of project inside a project. And then so he does that while I'm finishing like the mix on my end and stuff. So by the end, it starts to get a lot more efficient, but people don't realize how long it takes to do one of those covers from start to finish. Can take so long.
Oh, it looks so difficult, man. I was just like, it's hard working in the same room together.
I'm like, it's so much fun though. I love doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're doing all these, and you're doing most of the production yourself, and are you doing all the recording yourself too? And if you are, what DAW are you using?
I use Logic Pro 10.
Okay. Yep. That's what we use too. Great
I love
program.
it, dude. It's great. But I see people use Pro Tools, and there's like things I like about Pro Tools too. So it's just like you get super comfortable with Logic, and I don't want to change now.
No. The thing that I like about Logic is I'm like a caveman, right? Like, this has to be simple. And
dude, no, I got you. There's so much going on anyways, like all the time.
Like I said, man, I'm just a drummer. Okay.
Yeah, keep it simple. Keep it simple.
Keep it simple.
Yeah. Cole, so I look on the internet and I see you doing all these videos online. Have you ever been in an actual band?
I have. I think I've only been, and by I think like ones I would actually like include. I was in a band in high school. We were terrible, but we had so much fun doing it. So it was really good just to like hang out with like my friends in the band and stuff every week. And it was always just like, you'd laugh your ass off so hard once a week at band practice. And it was great.
Yeah.
For some reason, I doubt that your band was terrible, bro.
Man, I don't know. I'm going to send this to the guys in the band, and they'll probably laugh at this. So it's like, I don't know. But and then actually last year, and it sucks that it fell apart, but I was in a band with some guys I ended up becoming really good friends with. Zachary David's a guy that I've collaborated with a bunch of times. Yeah. I've done a video with my friend Chris Champagne, and Tyler Brown was the drummer for this group. We were called Museums. It never ended up getting like publicly released or anything, because we were from like different parts of all over the place, and half of us are Canadian, half of us are in the States, and we needed like a middle, like a central hub type of thing to all kind of get together and like schedule like working on stuff. And it was really hard once our management thing just kind of just caved in, and we just, I don't know. Yeah, it's just the long story made short of that whole thing, but it's unfortunate it didn't come together because we recorded some really good tunes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you about that. Was the collaborating with people at distance? That's something that's completely foreign to me. And I've always played in a room with guys. So
Yeah.
can you talk about the process of making music with guys that are, like you said, they're not even in the same country?
Yeah, it's crazy. Like the internet's a beautiful thing when it comes to like collaborating with somebody that normally you would never get to see them type of deal. And like, I mean, yeah, it's really, it's no substitute for getting to work in person because there is like that chemistry there when you get to collaborate with somebody and like write a song from scratch, like in the same room together and bounce ideas back and forth and get that momentum going and stuff. It's really easy to lose momentum with that stuff over the internet because people have to be like both like very invested in it. But I don't know. It is crazy that you do have that ability or the option to work with pretty much anybody you want.
Yeah.
And you have the means to do it now.
Yeah.
So that's like, it worked out really fortunately for me.
Nice.
Yeah, right on. I kind of want to go back to what we were talking about, like your early days starting. Like, who were some of your influences, like starting out, like old and
as like a guitar player or as like somebody trying to make it online?
I would say more like what influenced you as far as your playing style.
Guitar players, actually, it's always crazy when people ask me like what kind of got my interest into it a lot. And my dad had this old Van Halen DVD. And it's after David Lee Roth left the band. Sammy Hagar was a singer for it. And he had this song that Van Halen did a version of. It was a Sammy Hagar song. Van Halen did their own like live version of it. And there's like a guitar battle in it.
Oh, wow.
And I don't know, from like the middle of the song, like right to the end, it's this big guitar battle between Sammy and Eddie. And
I wonder who won that.
I always reference that because it was so cool. And that just like really influenced me in terms of, that was like the first initial one, most important one, I think.
That's funny because Van Halen, that was my first concert. I went and saw Van Halen in Skid Row. My dad took me and I was like 13. And Alex did he has that 20-minute long drum solo.
Oh my God, yeah.
And he stuck my big ass up on his shoulders, man. And I watched the whole thing, and I knew I was wearing my dad out, But that was my intro,
Dude, that's awesome. I can picture that pretty accurately.
That's cool you mentioned that though, man, because Van Halen, for me, I saw him play. It's when YouTube first started. I was in like 7th grade, and I saw him play Eruption on YouTube. And I had never played guitar before that, and I saw that, and I was like, I want to do that. And ever since then,
yeah, exactly. See, it's crazy when you have that like life-changing kind of moment. You're like, fuck, I really want to do that or something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I think everyone's had that.
Yeah, definitely. It's different for everybody in different ages, of course. But and then what about as far as I read up on your website, saw that you're like a Sinister Gates fan and John Petrucci.
Yeah, I love Sinister. Yeah, I love those guys. That kind of like came later, almost like after. Oh, it's so weird. I'm trying to like put together this timeline in my head, but it started off with the whole Van Halen thing, and then I got like really into Ozzy and Randy Rhoads and stuff, and then Zakk Wylde obviously after that, and he was like a big thing on my style. And then my whole Dragon Force phase, and then I started to get into guitar players like you mentioned. Huge Sinister Gates fan, dude. He's so cool. And I wish I was him. He's the best.
You're about as damn good because that's Avenged Sevenfold is like my favorite band. Like,
yes, man,
like
so awesome.
Forever. I even got a tattoo of them on my arm. But
oh, sick.
You play just as well. Yeah, I mean, Sinister Gates is badass, but I'll say Cole Rolland's pretty badass. Yeah, I mean,
guy I think you would love. His name's Andy James. If you've ever heard of him before, his band is called. I think they're called Wearing Scars, but he's more well known, at least at this point, as a solo artist. He changed the game on everything for me. Like I was like really kind of like in a plateau where I wasn't coming up with anything new. I came across this guy and just came up so many more ideas because of him. He's got such a great style. I definitely check out Andy James after this. He's so good.
He's more of like doesn't he do like really good rhythms, but he plays lead too. Like he writes, I noticed that about his playing.
Ridiculously good at lead.
All around playing. He's really good, man. Real talented.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Incredible live too. Like I've been to NAMM a couple times and seen him play just like at like one of the booths or something. So it's not even like a show really. He'll just like pick up a guitar and start playing. And it's like, oh my God.
Yeah.
So flawless. It's
So
amazing.
you have an extended library of like abundance amount of stuff on YouTube, and I know it's kind of hard to narrow it down and everything, but I want to know like which one might be your favorite song that you ever covered.
Man, it's always like you ask like my girlfriend or any of my close friends or anything, it's always like the newest one I've done.
Okay.
At least for like a short period of time. I'll be like, oh man, this one's way better. This one's way better. And like I have an issue with that. But I think out of all of them ever, probably the Adele cover we just did. Because that was like we did like the vocal duet and stuff between Zach and Lauren, and their voices went so well together. And
Yeah,
dude,
that was
I
great.
love that fucking song right there. I was like,
Yeah.
oh, it is so
Thanks, man.
fucking good, man. And
it is definitely my favorite.
I even had to get online because Zachary, right? I was like, well, this fucker looks familiar. I was like, that's not that guy from California Dreams back in the day. Like, I thought he was from some fucking show. So I fucking was, and the first like lyrics that came out of his mouth were California Dreaming, and I was like, oh shit. So I got online and I was looking through, dude. No, it's no disrespect to him at all, but he needs to look at that guy because he looks just like that dude, man.
Oh man,
and I was
that
like,
makes
oh,
it so much funnier for me because I know him really well.
yeah, it was such a good
man.
song though. Both of them fucking hit it on the nose, and yourself,
Dude,
I was
thank
like, oh
you.
shit,
Yeah.
it was bad.
You know,
Yeah,
You're-
what's up?
you were talking about like going through the Aussie phase. I noticed you skipped over my guy Jake E. Lee.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Man,
Yeah, I'm sorry.
dude, I was like, come on, dude. Cole.
Your boy Jake.
Jake, hey, the ultimate sin,
Yeah.
dude.
Dirty.
That
Market
shit's
Moon.
freaking ridiculous, right?
Oh man, what is that? That was like the last Aussie album I got into, and
That
there's-
shot in the dark.
oh,
Right?
Shot in the Dark.
Yeah,
is
that's a
gnarly
great song.
yeah. The chorus is great. I love like the like harmonic bend things he does where he bends like the string at the nut stuff. Oh, that's sweet.
That guy's a beast, dude. I like that album. You know, I did the similar thing with you. You know, you start out with what your dad likes, and then
Which is dad rock.
Dad rock,
Dad rock.
right? You know, I started out like my whole thing was like Metallica was the beginning for me, right?
Yeah.
And now like hanging out with Mark and Leisure Suit here, we're listening to some of this new shit, man, like Monuments and Intervals and Villamaya and Animals as Leaders.
Dude, Intervals
and-
is tight, man. They're from Toronto, so they're not too far from me. And Aaron Marshall, I think he was the guy that put everything together in the beginning. Oh, he is everything about his playing is amazing. Such a good songwriter. His tone is incredible.
Yeah.
Shape of Color has completely blown
Change
my
your
mind.
life. It's so good.
It's so good. You know, it's funny. Quick story. Mark comes over and he's all pumped up on his new Kiesel Vader 8 string, and he learns what's the name of the first track?
The first, I'm Awake.
I'm Awake.
Yeah.
So he comes over and he's shredding this song, and I'm just completely mind blown. And he goes, "Yeah, we should definitely cover this song. You could play the drums to this, right?" I'm like, "Are you high?" Like,
This is
and
so
he's like,
hard.
he's like, "No, it's not that
I'll just
hard.
listen, I'll just listen to the
Just
song.
listen
It's
to
easy.
the song."
It's easy.
Yeah, I pull it up on YouTube and I'm watching the drum playthrough from his name's Travis Orban, right? The drummer.
yeah,
for
I think
Intervals.
that's the new drummer. Yeah.
Travis Orban. And Mark was just like, "Okay, I eat my words. I'm sorry. I know nothing about playing drums."
Yeah.
These
They have
guys
so
are
much little things
tacticians.
going on. Yeah, it's crazy.
So many things in between. You know, he's ghosting all the time, and he's just filling up every space with something. There's no empty
Yeah.
spaces.
That's like, man, that's the cool thing about all like drums in that style. There's like so many like little tiny things going on, but that you don't really notice as a whole, or at least most people don't. And then if they weren't there, then you'd be like, oh shit, like, it sounds different now.
You actually have to see it.
Yeah, I know.
To
That's
really
the,
appreciate it, and
key
you're
to
like,
like
wow.
a good mix in general, though. Like when you're producing a song, it really is like all the small things like that add up into something bigger that makes it like a big production in the end. That sounds good.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I can't remember what I was gonna say now. Oh yeah, you guys were like asking me what my favorite cover I've done and stuff was. Some of my favorite songs that I've done recently actually are on my EP coming out, which I've put out 2 originals from that so far, and it's got like Lauren on it, Zach's on it, my friend Garrett's on it too. So there's like an even balance between vocal songs and instrumental songs. So
Yeah, I actually
think-
checked out. I was looking at it last night. It was the last night, the playthrough.
Yeah.
That's good, man. That's good stuff,
Awesome. Dude, thank you.
Really good tone, really good playing. It's unique for sure. So I'm
Sweet.
excited to hear
Thanks
the
a
rest.
lot.
So Mark brought up tone. What are you playing through? Like, we're big gearheads here on the Beat Lab, man.
Oh, shit. You guys are probably gonna school me on.
Yeah,
gear.
we want a gear breakdown. What's Cole Rolland playing through, and maybe shout out to the guys that are endorsing you.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I'm playing currently. Actually, it's my most recent new endorsement is with Fractal Audio, and they make the Axe FX2.
Yeah, if you don't know what Axe FX2 is, you're living under a fucking rock.
Yeah, man,
thing's
it's
awesome.
it's so widely debated. We'll say that.
I think it's
but
dope.
yeah, I am a huge fan of it. Some of the more old school guys will, like, if you bring up an Axe FX2, they're like, they'll dismiss it quickly. But man, gotta give this thing a chance. I had to give it a chance. Like, when I first got it, I was so overwhelmed. And I was just like, oh my God, what did I get myself into? I'm tripping out. Like, I don't know how to use this thing. And I'm trying to put videos out and stuff. I couldn't get it to sound the way I wanted. And you put the time in with this thing, holy shit, you will not regret it. Like, I absolutely love it.
That's what it seems like, because every guitar rig on every fucking stage these days is filled with Axe effects. So
Yeah, it's
you
so
can't go
popular
wrong.
now.
If all the best players in the world, especially in the genre that we all enjoy, right?
Yeah.
These guys are all using Axe effects, and their tone is ridiculous.
Dude, yeah, two of your boys, John Petrucci and Sinister Gates, both use it.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, they have like a million other things they use on top of it because they can, but it's in there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, what I liked about the Axe Effects, I don't have one, but I tried it out. The interface that you can, what do you call it? The program that you put on the computer.
Oh, Axe Edit. Yeah,
that's really
basically
useful.
takes everything on here and throws it on your computer. So my rig essentially is my Axe Effects and my MacBook.
Yeah.
So it's very compact, but
Yeah, I like the way everything's like you can add your effects in there. You can add like different routes, go around stuff, and it's really user friendly on that end.
yeah, definitely.
I saw earlier you were using when you were younger, you were using Line 6, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so how does Line 6, because I know people, there's like an argument like, oh yeah, Line 6 does the same thing. Well, no. So like, what in your experience, what's the big difference between Line 6 modeling versus Fractal Audio?
Man, this is what I mean. Like, I'm not super gear savvy, but I mean, I played a really, people will call it like a low quality Line 6 amp. It's called the Spider 4. This thing was cheap, but man, I got some great sounds out of it. I don't understand why people rag on it so much.
That's what Leisure plays through.
I got it.
It's not bad.
It's not.
bad. People hate
It's
on it
awesome.
for no reason.
I love it.
I think they hate on it just to hate on it. Like they just want something to shit on.
Dude, it's like Nickelback. That's exactly what I feel about Nickelback.
Nickelback, when they came out, they were tight.
Man, I think Nickelback's still tight. I'm sorry.
Hey, they're your countrymen, right?
That doesn't mean anything.
Oh.
It's not saying that I ride a polar bear to school.
Oh, fuck.
Shit.
Hey, Rush just wrapped up their last big tour, right?
Oh, shit, man.
Was that news to you?
Yeah. See? There's no correlation.
No correlation between Cole and his countrymen.
No.
No. And he's like, I'm not 60.
I'm like, oh, that's sweet. Yeah.
Hey, so you seem like you try out a lot of gear here and there. So
Yeah, I'm fortunate enough to get the chance to.
have you tried out this orange? What is it? What?
Oh, yeah. I'm looking at the Orange Micro Dark Terror. Have you seen those?
I know what the Orange Dark Terror is. There's a micro one.
There's a micro one, and it's got a.
Oh,
it's
shit.
a.
Everything's
tube.
getting so small nowadays.
Dude,
That's the
it's
new thing,
like the
man.
size of a.
Many pedals, many heads, everything, dude.
What the
How
size of the.
how do you activate many pedals with like your baby toe?
They're tiny, dude. They're like smaller than your hand. I've seen like
Hey,
a
you're
little
gonna be
tube screamer.
like ballerina dancing over your pedal board.
Or you just hire someone to touch the pedals for you. But
Well,
yeah, sure. There's just a guy down there.
yeah.
we were just giving Ted a lot of shit because he's getting into buying this little Dark Terror thing, and it looks like a
It looks like a lunchbox.
It
Yeah.
just came out.
I'm like,
Does
what
it?
the fuck is that? I was just at Guitar Center right now trying to look at it, and I was like, oh my god.
Yeah, they were giving me shit. They're like, no, you should just, for the price. It's about the same price as that Spider 4. And I was like, no, man, I'm into this tube preamp on here. And they're like, man, you get all the tones with the Line 6. So I'm going back and forth because I'm trying to buy like another amp for my studio. So
Okay.
yeah,
I don't know. What kind of sound are you looking for?
heavy, high gain. You know.
Man, Line 6 is really known for their high gain. Oh man, I could be like talking, I could be completely wrong. So like people are gonna like call me out on this.
No,
but
you know what it is though? It's experience, man. You've got experience playing through this and that and the other thing, and it just comes down to preference. You know, it's like, you know, you're not sitting there and you're not going to tell me about the specifics of, you know, how this amp works. You know, but you know the tone.
yeah, dude,
right?
like,
You know?
well, I think it's kind of like you say this and say first thing that comes to mind type of thing. Like when
Yeah.
I hear orange amps, I think of more like dialed down gain, like more like a rock tone, or you could use it for, I don't know. I bet bands like, I don't know, just more like rock bands. I bet like Rise Against uses like orange amps or something similar to it or something like that. Whereas like I'm sure you could get a really like a super nice high gain tone out of it too. So I wouldn't be too worried about it. But Line 6, definitely could get some good high gain tones out of it.
I was trying to talk him into
An affordable price.
Yeah, I was trying to talk him into a 6505 plus combo.
Is that the PV?
Yeah, those things are killer.
And yeah, those things are really well respected.
Yeah, I like your tone, Mark. He plays a 6505, so he's a little biased.
With a tube screamer, that's like my whole setup. That's all I have.
Do you have the old school one, man? I can't find one.
I wish. Those are hard to come by, and they're like
those are very hard to come by now.
triple the price now. They're vintage. Yeah.
It's like an antique.
Are they? I don't know if they're built. Are they built different, or is it just?
Yeah, they changed quite a few things about the internals to my understanding at least. And now it's really hard to come by, or they're like extremely expensive. It's like a collector's item pretty much.
Yeah, it's either that one. I've been wanting to try it with the Maxon version of the tube screamer.
Yeah.
A lot of people use those too, but I've never had a chance to check them out yet. But
Dude, definitely.
Yeah.
Actually, yeah, Dunlop is another company I'm with, so I get to try out all the new artist wahs and stuff. Man, they make some great shit.
oh yeah, they do.
That must be a lot of fun, man. You get to try out all the gear. You know, that's a benefit from your talent.
Oh
You know, that's
man,
cool.
dude, it's like it's part of the reason like Jim Dunlop's an awesome company already, and my artist rep for all my companies is awesome. The guy at Dunlop, he like really goes out of his way for me sometimes, and he's like super nice dude. His name is Chris Johnson, but yeah, we went down to do EMG TV, if you guys have heard of that.
Oh
Yeah.
Back in November, and he came out for dinner with us and stuff, and he showed up and he gave my friend Eric the the Eddie Van Halen wah, and he gave me the Kirk Hammett wah to try out. Oh, so sweet. I love this thing.
Nice.
That's tight.
I like the Zach Wild wall. I don't even know if they make it anymore.
That's what I have too, man.
That
was
has
like
the
a
best cut.
staple to my rig for so long.
Yeah, that's gonna give you, from all the ones I tried, the classic wall is good, but for that like Zach Wild, that really, I don't know. That
Yeah, you get that
frequency.
really like muffled when you cock it back. You get it like really muffled tone, so it like snaps back really tight on it.
Yeah.
I love it.
And then you also you play ESP guitars, right?
I love ESP guitars, man. That's why I feel like I'm super fortunate, is because all the companies that I've managed to like make really good connections with are all companies I've like loved for a long time. Fractal was the only like super new one to me,
Yeah.
but ended up loving them too. No, man, I love all these guitars that I've gotten from ESP are so awesome.
Yeah, I love the look of the ESP, but I don't know too much about the sound. So, how is that? Is it cool?
Man, you can get tons of different it's like really depends on what you're looking for, because I have like different guitars for rhythm and stuff. Like I use this bad boy for rhythm guitar all the time.
Yeah.
I put EMG 5766 pickups in it,
Yeah.
which are really, really crisp, and I like them a lot better for like low gain.
Yeah.
And then they have these EMG 8185, which is what Zach Wild uses. They call them the X series too. And this was what I'll use for like all my leads and stuff, and it'll be like way better for high gain tones.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, I'm really fortunate to have like the option to have all these different, like, I don't know, different weapons.
The black one, that's the one that you played on the Kill video.
Yes,
Is that an Eclipse?
Yeah. I think it's they have like the E2 models and stuff now,
Yeah.
but this is an original Eclipse. So it's pretty old.
Yeah, that's a great guitar.
I love it, man.
I've
It's so
played
popular.
a few of those. Those are great, man. I love their Les Paul body. It's awesome.
Me too. Yeah, I actually like it more than the original Les Paul body. I hope people don't kill me for that.
Yeah, you know, mentioning that Kill video, how is it like? I'm always interested on the whole thing about there's certain artists that can actually sing with the guitar, you know, and you did it in that Kill. You were doing the lyric, you know, the vocal part.
melodies with the guitar.
Yeah, I mean, that's one thing that, especially with Jared Leto's voice too. It was a lot easier with a song like that as opposed to like there'll be some songs people are like, man, you gotta cover this one. It's like I can't replicate that vocal line and kind of like do it justice type of thing. But with that song, I loved doing it. It was so much fun.
Yeah,
it was easy to kind of transfer what he did into guitar and like through kind of like different types of vibrato and slides and everything like that. You can try to make it come together.
Yeah, it was definitely one of my favorites too. I really wanted to ask that question, but it comes up to another question I had. What do you think about frontmen, vocalists, like lead vocalists that also play guitar? You know, like, and they do it well. You know, like there's certain, like Jared Leto is a fucking motherfucker, man.
Yeah.
On stage, he gets it. You know, and
he's beast. He's a really good entertainer in general.
Dave Grohl gets it too. You know,
Alexi Leo, dude. Children of Bonham. That guy shreds.
He's playing
and he
like
sings.
a damn lead.
Yeah, he's crazy. How does he does lead vocals and lead guitar?
that's crazy to me. I can't.
There's only a handful of players like that I can think of that have ever done that. And
do you guys know Trivium?
Oh yeah. Matt Heafy.
Yeah.
He's a big time jujitsu guy too. If you didn't know.
Yeah, he's super into martial arts.
Yep.
Yeah, he's crazy, man. Because some of those riffs, that's another band I got into growing up too, and some of the riffs that they would do, I would like struggle just to play the guitar riff. Yet he's doing lead vocals on top of that. I'm like, holy shit!
What was that? What was that CD? It's probably the same one we're both thinking of. The
Shogun.
Ascendancy.
Shogun, dude.
No,
It's
I'm
Shogun.
thinking,
that's what I'm thinking.
I'm thinking
of.
old, like is Ascendancy.
Oh, that's the
These are-
first one.
they're a big
Yeah.
one,
Yeah, dude, that CD, man. Is,
I have that one.
Yeah, that one's killer,
That's
dude.
fucking awesome.
Those songs are so memorable.
Yeah.
They were like they felt like a modern day Metallica to me.
They got labeled so hard with that when they did the Crusade.
Yep.
Yeah.
They got really labeled with that because he stopped screaming and he started going like super James Hetfield on all the songs.
And he admitted it. He said in an interview, he was saying that that's what I wanted to go for. So immediately everybody
He
just
loves Metallica, and they did a cover of Master of Puppets, which is dope, by the way.
yeah.
You know, with minus the screaming, you know, I'm not so much a fan of it, you know, because I like the, you know, more brutal stuff too. But, you know, it does make the music more palatable for just your average music listener.
What, the screaming does?
No, without the screaming.
Oh, yeah, definitely. As soon as you add screaming, in sort of kind of any degree of it, whether there's a little or there's a lot, you're changing your demographic.
Yeah. As soon as I put, you know, like my wife or my daughter or something when I'm in the car, you know, those bands are automatically off the playlist, you know, when they're when they're riding together.
Yeah, me and Lauren were laughing about this like a couple months back. I think it was around Christmas time, and she texted me and she's like, hey, I'm showing my grandma like YouTube videos and stuff or covers and stuff that I've done, but I only show her our videos because I scream in all the other ones. And I was laughing. I was like, yeah, your poor grandmother.
Yeah.
So can you, you know, this podcast right here, we try to get information out, and we want guys that are just starting to play music, or, you know, maybe they've been playing music a long time. You know, we're trying to get information out there. Can you talk about how you went about getting endorsed? I know that is a big question on musicians' minds that don't have any idea like what avenue to go down in order to achieve that.
Man, I've done a few podcasts now, and this question always ends up coming up. So I gotta talk about my buddy Eric. He goes by E-Rock on YouTube. Super successful, man. Like, he's done really, really well for himself. And I ended up kind of after I'd done some videos, started to like establish my name. He was kind of one guy that I was watching his videos and seeing like how well he was doing and stuff. And I was like, holy shit, like this guy is really like making something out of this and doing a very good job at it. And I was fortunate enough to do some videos with him, which kind of gave me a lot more credibility online. And he already had like pre-existing endorsements with companies I was really into, like EMG Pickups was one that he and my other friend Charlie, who's also a guitar player on YouTube, they kind of both introduced me to EMG. And from that, I feel like once you've got one really credible one and you build a good relationship with them, then the others are going to come a lot easier. Because, dude, whenever I go down to California, like when I went to their studios and stuff, it's crazy how they all talk about how everyone in that area knows each other. Like, it's like if you get a bad rap with somebody, then it might kind of haunt you for a bit because people talk. Yeah. And you want to stay on good terms with people. And like if somebody does something really nice for you to like help you out and stuff, you might want to return the favor. It'll pay off really well in the long run, especially since I said like people talk. It's kind of like a smaller circle than you think.
It really is.
Yeah.
You don't think about it and you think, oh man, it's like, the music industry is so big, and it is, but the degrees of separation that separate you from your favorite bands is a lot smaller than you realize.
It definitely is, man. Especially if you like think of like who's toured together and stuff. Yep. Like you spend a few months on the road with somebody, you probably get to know them like at least a little bit. So yeah, like there's been bands that you're like, oh my God, I didn't know like James Hetfield and Eddie Van Halen were friends, for example. I don't know if they are or not, but like maybe they toured together back in like the 80s or something. And, yeah. So I don't know, man. It really is a small world when you think about it. And that's kind of, sorry, I got like super off track, but
no, man, that's good.
No, it's fine, man. We're just having a conversation, dude.
That's why I do. This is why I love podcasts. I listen to them all
It's
the time.
not like that's the best thing. It's not, like radio's super scripted and you got to mind your P's and Q's. Here we can just sit and bullshit and have a conversation and like, just four guys hanging out in the room just talking. And
you guys ever listen to the Joe Rogan Experience?
Dude, that we're huge.
It's like a part of my religion now.
Okay, I've learned so much from that guy. It is ridiculous. Like dude, I feel so much more educated now.
I got this that Magicians of the Gods book just to because I'm so fucking
Graham Hancock.
Yeah,
right?
I'm so fucking like when he has those guys, those scientists and freaking
I love those ones.
Dude, I'm so fucking like nerdy at that point. I'm like, shit, dude, I gotta go fucking get my ticket to fucking Turkey to go fucking Gobekli Tepe. You know what I mean?
Tepe.
Like I'm like shit, and they're like, the fuck is Gobekli Tepe?
Bro,
I was like, Tepe,
a buddy of
motherfucker.
mine, so into that stuff. He actually recently went over. I don't know exactly where he went. Maybe South America, and he did like the whole ayahuasca thing. And,
that's dope, man.
Yeah.
Dude, he's got some stories I need to hear. Like he just got back a couple days ago, so I'm really excited to hear about it.
Dude, all that shit that Rogan talks about, man, that motherfucker is smart as fuck. Like
he is, man. He's so inspiring. Like he makes me want to like try really hard on everything.
He's so fucking crazy because like, and that's kind of the inspiration for our podcast was Joe Rogan. You know what I mean? Because he said, if you want to start a podcast, do it.
Just do it.
Just fucking do it and fucking fuck everybody else. I was like, let's do it, Ted. Fuck everybody else.
No, dude, it's sweet, man. I love doing podcasts.
But it's crazy because he can talk to like my stupid level, and then he can talk to
Graham Hancock or Dr. Rhonda Patrick.
Yeah, I'm like,
he has all these crazy intellectuals on there, and then he can talk fighting. He could talk music. He could talk. He's just a really well-rounded human being.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool, man.
Yeah, it's cool that you listen to him, man. That's fucking awesome.
Yeah, dude, it's crazy. If you listen to like so many of his podcasts, you feel like you like actually know him in real life. It's crazy.
You really. That's exactly.
Yeah.
We did a podcast with Eddie Bravo.
You did?
Yeah.
Oh, dope! That's cool.
Yeah, and it's crazy. And you spoke about this a little bit. How like the internet it makes the world so much smaller.
It does, man.
How Joe Rogan or we had Eddie Bravo on the podcast and here we are talking to you and we're just fans, dude. We see you online and we're like, damn, we really appreciate what you're doing. And this gives us the media and the avenue to have this conversation.
No, man, exactly. It is really a beautiful thing. It's just unfortunate when some people do weird stuff on the internet. But the majority of people I feel like use it for like a good purpose, man. It's given a ton of people like a start that they normally wouldn't have gotten.
Exactly.
Yeah,
I'm one of those people, man. Like it definitely.
Well, yeah, exactly. You're a living testament to that, and you know, like when I was your age, the internet was in its infancy. You know, I'm 34 years old, so there was no like YouTube wasn't even. I don't think it started till like 2007.
Yeah, 2006, 2007.
2006, 2007. So it's like, you know, when we were in bands, we were having to hustle by like pass out flyers and make demo tapes and stand outside, you know, stand outside the Whiskey A Go-Go or the Roxy, and you're passing out CDs as people are coming out after a show. Now it's just, you know, you can, you know, send out Twitter and SoundCloud stuff and link to your music. It's easier than ever to get your music heard. You know?
No, dude, it's awesome. It really is cool.
Yeah, it's so advanced now. It's every year something else is coming out. And
it's sweet for everybody because, and it's like, yeah, it gets tricky because things are like super saturated all the time.
Yeah, I was just gonna say
stand out, but yeah. Like, man, I grew up in like, even where I live now, like the city I live in now isn't like a super great music scene or anything, and I grew up in a really small town with like 15,000 people in it. So it's like, I don't know, it wasn't a great scene for that. You guys are from LA or like Hollywood area?
We're in Bakersfield. So
we're in
like
the butthole.
Scene out here.
We're in the butthole of California.
The armpit.
California's butthole.
Yeah.
California.
We have the worst air quality in the nation.
In the United States,
Yeah.
our air is the worst.
It is like so like it's hot as hell in the summer and it's colder than shit in the fucking winter. Like,
man, that's great.
But saying cold as shit to Cole, he's in fucking Canada.
I don't
bro.
know what cold is when it comes to Canadian.
We don't
you know
speak
what I mean?
of
Like,
cold.
I can, dude.
Yeah.
Out North Dakota was like, it was negative 60 there. It was the coldest it got that I
Fuck,
experienced.
I would have fucking died.
That was not fun.
What's that in Celsius, bud?
Oh, Celsius. Like,
Freaking metric
I didn't learn
system.
that.
We're dumb Americans, bro.
Yeah.
Like we know inches and miles.
Yeah,
And,
I'm like a caveman.
It's funny. Talking about, though, like how easy it is to get out there nowadays, like on YouTube and all this. I hear a lot of old school people talk about, oh, people nowadays, it's so easy for them, you know, but it's really not. I mean,
No.
When it comes down to it, dude, you still have to have good work ethic. You still have to bust your ass. And you still have to, I mean, if you're not going to try your hardest at something, you're not going to succeed, you know?
Man, this guy that I work with, I felt like when I first met him, like he's a musician too, but he does it for fun and stuff. Like he used to do gigs when he was younger and stuff. But when I first like started showing him my stuff, or he wanted to see it, so I show him, and he would just like, I could tell he was like giving me a hard time because he's like, oh, like you can just do it over the internet and stuff now. Like, oh, he doesn't even like use the internet.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like it's a totally different like thing, obviously, than when he's growing up. It's so different, and like he's like warmed up to me now, but like I could tell at first he's like just like super old school. He's just like, oh, you can do this from your room, like that's not cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So-
It's all like you were saying though. It is oversaturated. It's hard to get noticed too because there's just so much content out there. So
Exactly.
the cream rises to the top though. You know, out of the millions of videos on YouTube, we found you, Cole. You know, you're a bad dude, and you know your shit is above. You know, there's a lot of shit out there, but you know, you find the best stuff because you know it's being viewed and it's being shared. So you know, if you're good, despite the oversaturation, you'll get found if you're good.
And if you have the drive. Yeah.
If you have the drive, you have to. You know, you have
Dude,
to
that's a
push.
big thing for sure, because it's super easy to get caught up doing other stuff. Like life's busy, man.
Yeah. So speaking of this, like you seem like you got a pretty good head on your shoulders. You started off young. What would you tell the young people that are starting off right now, the ones that are like 10 years old picking up a guitar, you know, at 15 they want to be on YouTube, you know, because everybody wants to be on YouTube now. It's a thing to do, you know. What would you tell them? Like what kind of advice you can give them to inspire them to keep going? Because people quit all the time. I'm a perfect example. I quit.
Man, I don't want to sound like super cliche or anything, but like any sort of advice towards people, it's probably already been said before, but man, like if you find something that you really like to do and like you just have so much fun doing it, don't even think about it making you money. Like, just do it because you love it. And then anything past that, like it becoming a job or anything, then that's just a bonus. Like, if you get to make money doing something you like doing, that's even better. But I don't put all your eggs in one basket kind of thing. Like, if you love doing something, just keep doing it. Like, don't let your friends stand in your way. Don't let your girlfriend stand in your way, or your parents or anything. Like, if you like playing guitar, like keep playing guitar. If you like playing hockey or doing stuff, like super Canadian, man. But yeah, like if you like doing that, just keep doing it. Don't let anyone stand in your way.
Yeah, I think I don't think there's any problem with something being said again. You know, like you said, this has probably been said before, but I think that's what needs to be said. Is it needs to be said again and again, because kids only learn after you tell them over and over and over again. My son is true. My son is the number one dude that you got to tell over and over again. You know what I mean? And I'm like, damn it.
And I'm sure my dad would be right there with you on that.
You know, so it's good to hear though, man. It's good to hear you talking like that, man.
Dude, definitely. Yeah, I think be nice to everybody. That's like one thing that my roommate always he ended up being like my best friend. I lived with him in college and stuff, and we still live together. And he's been like filming all my videos, kind of like I show him all my mixes and stuff, everything I'm working on. And he's like, man, you got to realize, like, you need to be nice to everybody. Like, even if somebody really just pisses you off or something, you just gotta kind of like let it slide and move on, and don't waste your time just holding like grudges against people that like failed you or whatever. Or like, and I'm not saying that happens to me all the time or anything. Yeah. But I'm saying that like it goes back to everything. It kind of all comes together, where if maybe like being nice to this one guy this one day, and he knew this other guy that was like super important or whatever, and it just ended up all coming together with you because you were polite to that guy, or I don't know, or you're friendly to him. Just
it's
say
karma, you know. It's you don't want to be putting out negative energy, because that shit comes back to get you.
Hey,
dude.
It works for some people.
You Kanye?
Oh,
I'm saying.
Let's not talk about Kanye.
It's not.
God,
we already talked about him too much right there.
That's what he wants us to do.
Yeah, that's exactly what he wants.
Yeah, I think something that's super important too is like rejection, man. Like, you're never always gonna succeed at something you do.
And there's been a couple times. There's been a couple times I got slammed so hard, and it's like, why do I even do this?
Oh yeah, we all go through that, man.
And you're just like, you know what? That's gonna make I don't know where I'm going with this. It's some poor analogy or something. I don't know, but yeah I don't know. It's like, it's so weird, dude.
I was sitting down the other day, listening to some of your videos and stuff, and my son just happened to come by, and he's like, fuck, because he's right there watching me learn how to play guitar, because I'm jamming right there, and he's like, he comes over and he sees you, and you're just like, just going off, and he's like, oh, Dad, if you could ever be as good as that guy, and I'm like,
He didn't say that. No.
yeah,
way.
oh no, I'm for real, like,
oh shit,
my son's crazy like this, but yeah, I mean, that's cool, man. You're a younger guy, you're like something like 21 years old, right?
Yeah, I'm 22.
22. I'm 38, and you're teaching me something. I mean, like, you're inspiring me to go and do something, and there's nothing wrong with that from somebody.
Man, that's older, really cool to hear.
Learning from somebody younger, because the younger people are the ones that are gonna save us these days. You know
they're the one that's breaking ground. Like, I've talked to, playing drums goes back to like, what were you influenced by? I'm growing up, I'm playing to like Metallica and Pantera and this and that. Those guys, if I compare myself to them, I'm like, man, I did well for myself. Like, I've gotten a level of proficiency on my instrument to where I can play all that shit, like, no problem. But then these new trailblazers come in, like I was talking about with Mark coming in. He's a few years younger than me, and he brings in this interval song, and I'm like, this is what metal is now? Like, I'm so behind the time. Like, I've got a lot of catching up to do. And it's those guys that are blazing the trail, that the kids now that are just starting to play drums, they're not sitting there listening to Master of Puppets like I did.
No.
Now they're sitting there, they're listening to Intervals, The Shape of Color. They're listening to Monuments. And they're listening to all these crazy fucking patterns.
Dude, they're listening to Cole Rolland.
They're listening to Cole Rolland.
Like, if you look at his views, they're listening to him too.
Exactly.
Like, it's
and
fucking ridiculous.
That's the standard. You are setting the standard for these kids that are going to be picking up this instrument. It's not going to be playing Violent Femmes. They're going to be...
Wait, what is that?
Exactly, dude. Exactly. They're going to be picking up, and the new precedent has been set. And now
that's cool.
they're going to
Yeah.
be pushing the boundaries further with their instruments than we ever even imagined.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, it's a progression thing.
Dude, that's cool to hear you talk like that, because I don't know, it's always nice to hear people stay open-minded. Like, I don't know, if you get stuck in one genre, or you get stuck in, like, I don't know, you gotta stay open-minded to everything, especially change,
Yeah.
because music will change, obviously.
It does.
Inevitable. So
Well, it definitely like relit the fire under me to progress.
Good, man.
Because you know, if I compare myself to the shit that I used to play, it's like, oh yeah, you're doing all right. But now it's like, oh man, I need to catch up.
dude, that's gonna make you push yourself really hard with your drumming, I bet.
It is, and
Push
I'm
hard
having a
to
good
learn that
time.
interval song.
His setup, the way he sets up his drums, I don't know if I could ever play that song because, man, the way his phrasings, and I just challenge you, Cole, to go and watch that video because it's ridiculous.
Oh man, I've been following them for a long time.
Okay.
I know how insane they are.
Yeah, it's just a completely different approach to the instrument, and I'm into it, man. I think
I
it's
love
dope.
the catchy instrumentals. Like that is like that's something that's hard to do, man.
Oh yeah,
Make it catchy instrumental that like really like or like paints like a good imagery in your head and stuff. They are so good at that.
Yeah. I like a good vocal, so I'm usually listening to that. But
Oh yeah,
their shit right there, I'm like, damn, I can listen to this. It's real like there's a harmony to it that I'm just like, oh,
Yeah.
I can get into this. I kind of feels like they're singing.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
Exactly.
there's been
Yeah.
and there's bands too like Animals as Leaders, dude, where it's so complex.
Oh yeah.
But there's still that like something about it that's catchy. It's over the top, but it's still something that you can listen to all the time. Like
Yeah.
that
that's
guy.
what my band would call, because we were trying to go for more like a radio rock type of thing, and like me and the other guitar player, like he's super good too. His name's Chris Champagne, and we would just we'd be trying to write songs, but we'd write stuff like too complicated for what we were trying to achieve as a group.
yeah.
And they would be like, guys, you keep trying to be a musician's band, and that's what we would call Animals as Leaders. It's a musician's band because people that are musicians love them, because it's basically like, holy shit, I can't believe they're that good at their instrument type of thing.
Yeah.
Whereas the majority of people like that aren't musicians, or people that aren't really into that kind of super technical stuff, won't like them as much as the people that are. So
Yeah.
Unfortunately, but that's the way it is, you know.
yeah,
You've got to find that mixture, you know, between being palatable for the average person, but yet still having enough on it to where the musicians are like, oh, okay, I see what you're doing. Like,
yeah,
That
you got to
was-
find that balance.
that was
Dude, Animals as
tasty.
Leaders, nobody would deny that they're all incredible musicians.
Oh, yeah.
It's
yeah. Oh
just-
my God.
I-
Leisure
I-
Suit kind of looks like Javier Reyes, I think.
Yeah.
a little bit, yeah.
Nah, the receding hairline's a lot farther back on me, you know?
Oh wow.
Yeah, it's fucking crazy, man. But
Don't be so hard. Don't be so hard on yourself.
oh shit, everybody's hard on me over here in fucking California land, man. I'm definitely not the California dreamboat.
Shit. Brutal.
Yeah, but yeah, man, fucking your shit's awesome, bro. You know what I mean? Like we've been getting a lot of guests coming on, and it's, you know, this podcast is definitely taking the upward travel, you know,
Good.
and
Yes.
I was fucking pumped up because I was like, you know, I got to come over here and say, Ted, Cole Rolland just responded to me, you know, like, we're gonna get him, like,
Yeah.
he's gonna come, you know, like, and here you are, you know what I mean? And this is fucking awesome, man, because you guys are just the beginning, you know what I mean? All of you guys that are coming on right now, you guys are just the beginning, and we're gonna be more than appreciative when this stuff takes off, you know?
Dude, I hope it does for you guys. I love doing podcasts. I think it's a lot of fun. I love listening to them all the time. So I don't know. It's sweet just to talk. It's like just chat. It's not scripted or anything, like you guys already said. You just chat with like-minded people. I think that's just awesome.
Yeah, it's a beautiful thing, man.
I do a lot of driving for work, and you know, I'm always listening to podcasts.
It's so key.
It makes traveling bearable, you know.
Mm-hmm.
It's a necessary evil to have, you know.
Dude, yeah, and you can like listen to something. You have so many options. You can listen to something funny on the way to work, or something like informative, or current event stuff, or whatever. I don't know. You can pick whatever you want. Yeah, I was trying to learn how to produce electronic music back in the summer, and just for fun. And I found this podcast that was like kind of going through like production techniques, and it helped me a shitload. And I would just listen to it on the way to and from work every day. So
That's awesome. Yeah,
Yeah,
there's a podcast for everybody, and that's That's a beautiful thing about podcasting.
And it's crazy. We got like our own mixture of shit right here. You know, you got Ted is the water testing guy, lab chemicals and stuff like that, and then you got Mark right here designing video games and graphic designing stuff. You know what I mean? And then I'm the CO guy that deals with all the prisoners and stuff. And it's like everybody's got their own stories of throughout the day of what happened today, you know? And you might like I might come over here and be like, fuck, dude, this fucking inmate motherfucker at work, guess what he fucking told me, you know? And then everybody's just fucking like, oh shit. But then I'll listen to Ted talking about dirty chemicals and shit like that. And I'm just
and everyone's like, no one cares about that.
What the fuck?
Man, I deal with that shit too, man. That's funny.
Yeah. It's awesome though. It's awesome. And that just brings up crazy conversations throughout the day. You know, you could be riding in a car with somebody and just crazy.
So Cole, you know, you are a Canadian, and I think most Canadians are born with ice skates on.
Not super true, actually.
Yeah. Okay. Are you a hockey player?
I used to be, man. I played for a lot in public school.
Oh, did you?
High school, I just got way more into music and stuff.
Yeah, I
wish
picked
I
up
still.
hockey.
Man, I wish I still played. Hockey's a great sport.
Beer league hockey is bar
So much
none
fun.
the most fun that I've ever had in my life, playing in a beer league hockey league. So
You guys
much
do that
fun.
down
Yeah.
in Cali?
Out here in Bakersfield, it's weird. Bakersfield is like a Central Valley town. It's in between LA and Fresno. You know, it's a valley. You know, our main industry here is oil and agriculture. There's the prison industry is real big here. There's a lot of prisons in the Central Valley, so a lot of guys are correctional officers. But we're a hockey town. It's crazy. We have an AHL team here, the Bakersfield Condors, and we also have, you know, a real nice ice arena and a really, really huge adult league, which is kind of odd for California, and not only being in California, but being in Bakersfield.
Yeah.
So it is kind of weird that Bakersfield's a hockey town, but yeah, we're a bunch of hockey players out here, man.
Man, that's sweet. Like I don't really watch a lot of sports, but hockey is definitely I find the most interesting sport.
Yeah.
And that's not just because I'm Canadian. Not just because
Who's your team?
Yeah, who's your team?
Man, I don't watch it enough to have a team. All of my knowledge of it lately comes from just playing NHL 16 with my friends.
There you go.
But I love it. That game's addicting as hell.
You can be the Bakersfield Condors in that.
I could, that'd be sweet, man.
Go to the AHL, man.
Mascot, you guys need a new
Bakersfield.
mascot? I can do that.
There you go.
It's so funny how video game is this now the new source of like your sports knowledge. Like
Yeah.
same thing with FIFA for me.
It just shows how nerdy I am.
Yeah, like I didn't get into hockey at all, and then I bought FIFA, played that for like 6 months, and I became a soccer fan. You know, after that, it's funny.
Yeah.
Soccer. Fuck, man. I remember when you came over and we watched the World Cup.
Dude,
that was
I
the most
tried
boring
so hard.
fucking shit.
It was fucking awesome, bro. It was a damn good fucking game, dude.
I couldn't tell.
And you were just like, oh, yeah, laser, so what are we going to do? And I'm like, dude, did you just fucking see Cristiano Ronaldo right now? What he did? And you're like, who?
I'm like, oh my God, did you see the paint dry? Did you see the paint dry?
Oh, dude, it's not that bad.
No,
it's not. Soccer's great. I don't watch it though. That's the thing. Like, I don't know.
Fun. It's
like
cool.
a sport you'd much rather play than watch.
Yeah.
I'd rather watch 2 girls, 1 cup than watch fucking soccer. dude.
Yeah, I'm fucking right you would, man. I doubt that.
Yeah, that's
I'm
fucking
calling you
horrible,
out
dude.
right now.
Oh my God. Dude, soccer it's the world sport. I don't understand it, though.
Soccer and hockey, man, reaches so far. Like, there's
Yeah,
so many
hockey's
you know what I mean?
international too,
Yeah,
man.
it's
Hockey's
fucking big over there in
shit.
fucking Russia too, man. Like, damn.
Dude, the Russians. Man.
Oh shit, dude.
Dude, guys get paid over there in the KHL, dude. Like when Yamir Yager went over there,
Yeah.
he made some
Yeah.
freaking cheddar.
Yeah, and that's
Did you
deciding to
see
play
that?
over
There's
there.
that hilarious picture this year that got posted by TSN, and it was something to do with how Yamir Yager's total points as an individual is more than all the players on the Leafs.
Oh shit.
Oh wow.
I believe it, dude. Yamir Yager's a
it's
motherfucker,
actually-
dude.
That
His
mother-
career stats, that's what it was.
He's
yeah.
like fucking 45 years old, dude, still playing. I'm like, God damn.
I thought he was older than that, dude. I thought
He
he
might
was
be.
getting
I'm
closer.
I'm
to
just
I think
throwing it out
I
there.
think he's just 40, actually.
Is he
But
really?
that's crazy. He's been in the NHL for almost 20 years, I think.
damn, he fucking looks like Ric Flair out there, bro. I'm like, fuck, dude.
And yeah, my roommate's like just in the room over, and he's probably listening to all my incorrect hockey information, just being shaking his head.
Oh man.
Yeah,
That's
that's
too
fucking
funny.
awesome.
But God damn it, who was it? Chris Chelios. That fucker played till he was older and shit too.
Yeah, the Blackhawks.
Yeah,
Blackhawk
he
guy, right?
Red Wings.
Red Wings? Okay.
Yeah,
Red
Chris
Wings.
Chelios.
Yeah.
He played until he was, I think he was 49 when he finally retired.
Yeah.
Oh my
And-
god.
And Pavel Datsyuk was like, that's the big finesse guy on that team.
Yeah.
And they were talking about when they would go to training camp that Chris Chelios would come in such good shape that he would be like doing these like hill runs, these sprints up hills, and all the young guys like, the Datsyuk and all those cats, they were just being dusted by old ass Chris Chelios, man.
Dude, he's just a machine.
He is. And after he left the NHL, he went down to the AHL and he played another season. He's like a glutton for punishment, man.
Speaking of finesse guys, have you seen Connor McDavid on the Oilers?
Oh,
Yes,
yeah.
Yes.
We're the Oilers affiliate. He actually played in Bakersfield.
Oh no shit.
Yeah.
Right on.
Yeah, we're the Bakersfield Condors are owned and operated by the Oilers.
Yeah. Edmonton Oilers.
Right on.
It's like a farming system.
Man, you guys know a lot about. I know Kopitar and Wayne Gretzky.
Fuck.
Man, I fucking hope
bro.
you know Wayne Gretzky.
That-
Wayne Gretzky
that's
is
my
the-
extent of
the
hockey
man.
right there. I picked
Yeah.
Kopitar because I like this name. I was like, that's a cool name, Kopitar.
And he plays for the Kings,
And he
too,
plays
so-
for the Kings. Yeah.
Yeah.
LA,
Yeah.
baby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right.
Hey, so do you watch any UFC, dude?
No, I've
No?
always been meaning to because obviously I hear about it all the time on the Rogan podcast.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know, man. I watch like highlights of that Nick Diaz and Conor McGregor fight.
Yeah.
That's like the most recent thing I've seen.
If you're gonna get into it, definitely get into it at UFC 200 because that's gonna be a freaking crazy.
What's
That's
that? That's like a big event for it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so they're all numbered, and every the last real big one was UFC 100.
Yeah.
And that was like one of those blockbuster cards with all the best fighters. 200, their billing is going to be like, it's going to be the motherfucker,
Yeah.
right?
Oh, dude, because the sport has just blown up. Like,
Huge.
It's
Yeah.
huge.
So huge, man. And fighting's relatable, man. Like you don't have to be some big like jiu-jitsu practitioner or anything to appreciate it. You could sit down like my wife, she's like super passive, but she enjoys watching the UFC. So
Man, I find it crazy how those guys literally they turn their body into just a weapon. It's
Exactly.
nuts.
yeah. Those guys, it's crazy because they have taken over 20 years. They've evolved a sport more than any other sport has ever been evolved. in
I know,
history.
it's crazy.
If you look back at 1993, at UFC 1, it might as well been 5,000 years ago.
Man, that's so wild. Yeah, UFC. That's the same year I was born, so the UFC is the same age as me.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That's
And
fucking-
in your lifetime, it's gone from Hoist Gracie in a gi to Conor McGregor, who's just like, he's this virtuoso fighter. It's wild, that they've reached this level of proficiency, and it's still getting better.
Oh yeah, it's insane, man.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like that with anything.
That's-
Everything
that's-
evolves.
That's a trip because I watched UFC 1, 2, 3.
Three.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean,
me
I'm
too.
like,
Yeah.
fuck, dude, I'm so Stone Age.
Dude, when the UFC
fucking
came
old,
out, it
dude.
wasn't even on. It wasn't on TV. I remember going to the video store, and it would be like 8 months after the fact, and you'd
Yeah.
get the VHS tape, and then you'd be like, "Oh shit!" and you'd throw it on in the VCR. It's now we're in this instant digital media age. Where everything is right now, and you don't have to wait for shit.
Yeah.
And you remember you go to the video store and some son of a bitch didn't rewind the VCR.
Be
you gotta-
kind,
Yeah.
rewind.
Be
Yeah.
kind, rewind, and you had
Yeah.
the separate little videotape rewinder next to your VCR. Yeah.
Fucking some were shaped like little cars and shit to make them look cool and shit. And you just put the fucking.
Imagine
Boom.
explaining to well, I don't have kids, they do, but if I ever have kids or you, Cole, like what a VHS is. They'll be like, what is that?
Oh no. no.
Or a cassette. Freaking a cassette. That's so crazy.
Bella found a cassette and was like,
What is this?
"What is this?"
And I
And
have
I was
a
like-
huge collection of Pokemon video games that I'm like saving for my kids someday. And it's
Nice.
probably going to be at the point where like they're like holding this cartridge, being like, "What the hell is this?" Like, I don't know. What to do with
I've
it.
kept all my systems too. I started off on
Yeah.
Nintendo, but blowing in the cartridge and all that old school stuff.
Yeah.
man. Yeah.
And then you put it in,
Yeah.
and you have to finesse it
Push it
down,
down.
and push it to the right just a hair, not too much, not too much. And then your
yeah.
Nintendo gets shot out, and you got to like shove some shit in there to like hold the tape down or the cartridge down.
Yeah.
The kids today don't know the struggle now.
Oh no.
Dude,
But
my,
it's the struggle that makes it fun, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I'll tell you this. Nowadays, when like my son's got a PlayStation 4, when that shit breaks down, I'm like, fuck, man, you can't even blow in this bitch. You know what I mean?
Dude.
how do you fix it with the
I'm
blow
like,
technique?
I'm like fucking looking at it like, what the fuck is like? There's a fucking 1-800 number if you have any call, and I'm like, fuck. So I'm there for fucking 2 hours talking to some fucking robot, you know? I'm like, shit, you fucking. I wish
Hey,
it wasn't old school.
I got a question for you guys.
Shoot.
How'd you guys start doing this thing? Was that you kind of like briefly mentioned it before, but it was just you guys were just like, fuck it, we're gonna make a podcast or what?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's exactly what we did. Actually, we have 2 unreleased episodes that are just Leisure Suit and I, and we're gonna put those out a year after we started this. So we started on New Year's Eve this year, and Leisure and I were just here at the house, and we're kicking back, drinking
It
beer.
was countdown.
Yeah, we were watching the fucking generic
Ball
New Year's
drop.
countdown, and I was like, I have this little project studio in my house where we record the music. I was like, hey, dude, let's go in there, let's hook up some mics, and let's fucking do a podcast. And that's just how it started, dude. We were just sitting around drinking beer and started a podcast.
Yeah.
That's sick. That's awesome.
And
Yeah,
like Rogan talked about, he's like, I just sit here with my friends and we talk. So that's what we do. It's just me and my 2 buddies. We just sit around and bullshit, and we get to talk to people that we normally wouldn't get to talk to. So that's fun.
Yeah, exactly.
You know.
Yeah.
That's fucking sweet, guys.
So if I hit you up, Cole, and be like, "Hey, bro, can I give you a phone call? I just really feel like I need to like reach out to you,
Talk
I
about
mean,
your feelings.
yeah, talk.
Absolutely
I just
Absolutely
wanna,
not.
I wanna talk. So can you shoot me your
Perfect
number and we
answer.
can make that happen?
No, he already said no at that
Absolutely
moment.
not.
So
Bro, you really put me on the spot right now. I don't know.
This interview's over.
he's like, I gotta go.
Yeah. Way to go, Ted.
Yeah, that's the whole thing. We just wanted to be able to talk to the people that we like and that other people will enjoy hearing a conversation, and we just thought, shit, man, if these guys can do it, so can we.
That's the bad thing, by the way, of starting a podcast with this guy. I have to answer his phone calls. You know what I mean?
True.
So I
Yeah,
can't-
it's
I
bad
can't
enough
deny-
You gotta hang out with him,
Yeah.
but now you gotta talk to him on the phone.
Yeah, I got to
too.
hear his fucking feelings,
That's terrible.
So there are some bad things.
Motherfucker, who's doing your breaks after this podcast?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you better be nice.
You're only doing my breaks because I got a broken foot, or else I'd do it myself.
You
bro.
broke your foot running like a freaking pendejo
at
from
your
the
fucking
sprinklers.
house, bro.
Settle down, boys. Settle down.
Hey,
Look what you started.
Thank you for saying that.
What would you do without me?
Yeah.
Cole came in as moderator.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Good
but
thing I'm here.
those breaks do need to get done, bro. Yeah.
I'm not looking forward to that. I'm not
I
gonna
know,
lie.
I know. I am because
fun with that.
This shit's grindy, man.
Damn it.
But dude, it was fucking awesome having you, bro. on
Yeah,
our
no,
fucking
thanks a lot for
show.
having
Yeah,
me.
man,
I'm just
appreciate it.
talking on these things.
And you're fucking more than welcome anytime. Anytime, bro. Anytime you want to just do
No,
something.
dudes, let me know.
Anytime you want to just drop your feelings on the podcast, you know what I mean? Go ahead and just let us know.
I'll wait till I get extremely emotional one
Yeah.
day, and I'll hit you up, and
Yeah.
we'll do a podcast.
Yeah, I'll
That'd be a
like-
good one,
I'll be
emotional
like,
podcast.
we got
Yeah,
emergency right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cole's fucking built up emotions need to come out.
It's a side of me my girlfriend doesn't even see, and we'll let the whole world see it.
You get to cry on the podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right on, dudes. Thanks a lot for having me.
Hey, we appreciate it. Like Lee just said, man, dude, you're part of this. You're part of this family now, man. You're
Alumni.
you're the alumni of the Beat Lab. Anytime you want to come on and promote something and get the word out, dude, you're always welcome, bro.
So if I'm running from the authorities someday and I need a futon to crash on, I can hit you up.
Yes,
Dude,
you can come
know
here.
this.
And if you want to hear about Ted's feelings,
Yes.
you might have to put up with that.
That's the best.
There's no ratas here. Yeah.
All right, brother.
All right, man.
Hey, dude, we
Thanks.
appreciate your time, man.
Yeah, likewise.
All right, bro.
All right, catch you guys later.
All right, man.
Dude, that was so fucking badass, bro. Cole Rolland, bro.
That was awesome, man.
He was great, bro. He was
He
awesome.
was really, really good, man, and he was super nice too. And he said like, you know, that karma thing, and I was vibing that. You know,
Yeah.
he's a good dude. He
Yeah, I
seems
can-
like a really, really good dude.
I think that one right there was a really fucking cool thing for him to say, because, you know, it's not cool to talk bad about people, anybody, no matter what you do, what's your preference. You know, if fucking Ted likes to fucking sit here and fucking drink fucking tea and watch fucking Britney Spears videos, that's fucking his fucking thing. You know, that's what he does.
I do like tea,
And
and
you like Britney Spears videos.
yeah, well, you know, who doesn't?
Okay, but that's what I'm saying. Nobody should judge you. You just do that. That's what you do. And if once you start talking shit and fucking putting somebody's name out there and making them, you know, like if their shit's bad, fuck, dude, you might need that person later on down the road.
Yeah,
Dude, that goes for any profession, man.
Yeah.
Really. I mean, you don't want to burn bridges, especially early on.
No.
You know, that's your connections that you make, the people you meet, dude. That's the most important thing.
that is.
Yeah.
Don't
So.
burn bridges.
No.
Negative.
Negative, Ghost Rider. This pattern is full.
Yes. But we still need to talk a little bit more. Okay. And
What do you got, bud?
No, I just want to talk about a little something that happened this weekend. Or not this weekend, what, these past couple of days. Me and Ted went on a little journey.
We went on a road trip.
Yeah, we went on a road trip to the Silicon Valley, right?
Dude, I was right across from Facebook.
Yeah, it was cool. It was cool, but just through conversation, you know what I mean? Like, we were sitting there listening to music, and it's crazy because he was listening to a North Lane, right?
North Lane.
North
Yeah.
Lane, and I was just like, you know, at the time I was just like, oh man, I'm listening to the music, and I'm like, don't get me wrong, I love that shit, you know, shit like that I love, you know, but at that time it felt like so heavy on me, you know, like deep. It was very deep. Like the music was deep for some reason, and I was just like, damn, sometimes I want some like clarity. You know,
Something a little lighter.
Yeah, lighter. But I still want to fucking rock, you know? So I'm like, maybe some Kill Switch Engage right now, some Parkway Drive, you know, like something that's more fucking animated. That deep shit is just like, woo.
Yeah.
Well,
man.
it's super technical, right?
It is.
Like it takes a lot to wrap your mind around what they're doing because it's so complex. You know, a lot of these bands, and you know, like you said, Parkway Drive, they're metalcore. You know, they're really straightforward. They're really fucking good.
Yeah.
Good at what they do, but it's straightforward. A little more, you know, it's a little easier listening. You know,
See, and that's the thing is we got Mark here, and Mark plays that shit. You
Mark's
know?
a motherfucker.
Yeah, he plays
For all
that
those
shit.
people
So,
listening,
so I'm trying. What I'm trying to do here is ask you, like, you play that shit. Do you ever get tired and say, you know, I just want to play something different?
Definitely, man.
You know?
Yeah, I go through stages. I mean, I think I've been playing now for 16 years. Is how long I've been playing? 17
That's
years.
a lot of fucking years, bro.
And I go through crazy phases, dude. I'll listen to country. I stopped playing metal for almost a whole year.
No shit.
For a while. Not really like, it's not something that I'm sitting there thinking about, okay, I'm not going to play metal anymore. It's just, you hear a song that's different, like you were saying, that hits you, man, emotionally. And then you just get into that. And for me, like, as a guitar player, I want to learn how to play that.
Yeah.
So I've played, I mean, I go through my oldies stages where I'll play oldies, like 60s music. I'll play 80s metal. And then, but I always found myself coming back to this newer metal stuff too.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah,
it's definitely like a journey, man, for sure.
well,
Yeah,
I think we said it before. Like as a musician, your instrument is your color palette, you know, and by you know, branching out and by listening and playing all these different genres and different time periods, you just add more color.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you're able to paint with more colors.
Yeah, the progressions, the scales, everything's always broken down to the basic scales, but it's just, yeah, I mean, it adds to your playing. There's a lot of closed-minded people out there that I have friends like that are just metal, hardcore. That's it. That's all I've ever, dude. That's not all you've ever listened to. Just admit, no, that's all I like. That's all. But where did they get their influences from?
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of these bands don't even listen to the type of music that they play, and they made it big. I don't even listen to progressive metal. I listen to blues or something. You know?
Yeah.
So what music was the first? And I'm talking about the first. I'm not like when I say the first, I mean the first thing that puts you hardcore into like the metal scene.
I know it was.
And metal's very broad. Yeah, I mean, like there's a lot of branches.
It was definitely in high school. My buddy Craig was getting into metal, and I believe he showed me Shadows Fall.
Yeah,
was the first band when they were just coming. Like that was when they hit it big with Art of Balance, I believe.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I didn't like screaming at all when I was younger. I never got it. I was like, I don't like that. I was used to, you know, like I said, 80s stuff, you know. He was like, just trust me, you're a guitar player. Listen to the guitar maybe and don't listen to the screaming. So I listened to that, and I was like, wow, you're right, you know.
Yeah.
And then I gradually started to like the screaming. It's not something that I liked right off the bat.
Yeah. See, and like I'm gonna ask Ted, and I kind of have a figure where he's going, but I hope he doesn't. But so
I do too.
what's the first for you? Like, how did it happen?
What, like finding metal?
Yeah, because literally the one thing that I know about metal, and it's not the first thing you ever heard.
No.
It is not.
No.
And it's to most people that I know that listen to the heavy metal, the what'd you call Parkway Drive?
Like metalcore?
Metalcore, you know. There's death metal.
Yeah.
There's hardcore shit. You
There's
know,
all the different
deathcore.
Yeah.
yeah. There's everything. But most people that I know that are into this stuff it's not their first music listen. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What's the first thing that got you into this here?
Like I talk about all the time with Metallica, you know, that got me kind of going into heavier music, that got me away from, you know, the shit that you listen to as a kid. Like, so, you know, most kids are on their Backstreet Boys, in Sync, or this 5 Seconds of Summer. Like, you have these bands that are like the bands that kind of break the ice and get you into listening to music. You know, the elementary bands, right? Metallica was that for me. But the one that graduated me to like really heavy music, I really got into hardcore when I was probably a sophomore in high school. And I really got into like Strife and Overcome and Unashamed, Gorilla Biscuits, Youth of Today, Earth Crisis, Strong Arm, bunch of hardcore bands, and that was where the screaming came from.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, the really, really aggressive vocals came from hardcore. So I was already like really kind of ingrained into that really like heavy screaming vocal style. But the music with hardcore is more attuned to like punk rock.
Yeah, that has punk rock roots.
Yeah, it's got punk rock
yeah.
roots, but it's elevated, you know, to be a lot more aggressive.
Groovy and
you know, and then
motivating.
breakdowns.
Yeah, that's
You know,
kinda
where the
started,
breakdowns came from and stuff, and so I was into that hardcore thing, and I think the first thing that kind of came up as far as modern metal was the first time I heard Slipknot.
Oh, okay.
99 with that first record. That kind of changed everything for me. You know, going from the metal that was, you know, around in the 90s, like, you know, Pantera and stuff, to Slipknot it's completely two different things.
Yeah.
So, you know, that to me kind of blended hardcore, death metal, metal type. That was like the culmination of everything to me was when I found Slipknot. You know, you listen to Slipknot now and it's kind of dated. You know,
Man, I can't get enough of him, man. Still.
Really?
His vocals do it for me.
Corey Taylor's bad, dude.
He's amazing, dude.
He's badass.
Yeah.
And you know, I like their new drummer, Jay Weinberg. That guy's a beast.
That's Max Weinberg's kid, huh?
Yeah.
Fuck, that's fucking crazy,
crazy.
man.
That's good lineage, dude.
Oh, dude. Max,
Yeah, your kid.
Max Weinberg's a fucking one of those classic traditional
Yeah.
drummers, dude. Like shit.
But think about growing up in that household. You know, your dad's, you know, this huge, you know, studio drummer. Played, who did he play for? Bruce Springsteen?
Yeah.
yeah.
So he doesn't have the typical struggles of your normal kid beating on drums in his bedroom. You know, like my first kit was just this hunk of shit. I mean, it was so fucking bad. And what's crazy is I actually recorded a fucking record on this thing, dude, in high school. It was so bad. It didn't even have drum heads on the bottom. It was all like concert toms and no, you know, resonant side bass drum head. This thing was a fucking train wreck. You know, most kids start out on some piece of shit. But you know, Jane Weinberg, you know, his dad freaking being endorsed. And he probably had the nicest equipment and stuff.
That's what I want for my kids. If I ever have kids, dude, I want to bring them in right. You know, like starting. I mean, why would you? I mean, it's kind of a good thing to start on something, you know, like not top of the line, but at the same time, if it's there and available, I mean,
Exactly.
that's an advantage, you know. But learning on playing like on a shitty kit or on a shitty guitar, it makes you better, I think, because the action on the guitar is so high, you have to push it down like 6 inches just to hit the fretboard, and then you pick up your first like nice guitar. You barely have to touch the frets, and you're playing. You're just your mind's blown. You know, it's same thing. With, I don't know about drumming if it's the same. I don't. Maybe a little different.
When you sit down on a nice kit, it sounds like what you hear in your head. When you play a shitty drum kit and it's not tuned and it's, you know.
But that's coming from an experienced drummer. If you first start, you don't know that.
No, that's true. That's true. You know, that's coming from having dog shit equipment as a kid.
Yeah.
And then, you know, every few years I'd get a new kit and it would be a little bit better. Like when I got my first Pearl Export, you know, that's the bottom of the line Pearl back then. It was like a $500 drum kit, but man, it was brand new and it was like the sickest thing I'd ever seen. And I appreciated it. I mean, I took such good care of it because I had, you know, this kit that my grandparents got me for $100 from a Guitar Center yard sale. You know, so I appreciated it a lot more. So starting out with a piece of shit and then you work up to like what I got now and I'm playing on the drums that I've always wanted, you know, I really appreciate that because, you know, you started out with nothing. So I think it's cool in that regard to where when you finally get that dream piece of gear, you know, like you getting your Kiesel or something and me getting my DW drums, you really can appreciate the fact that you're like, man, this is, you know, these are the greatest instruments, and we're able to play them. But you didn't start out on that.
No, dude, it's funny. That brings up I don't know if I guys ever told you guys about the story about when I got my first guitar.
No,
my brother gave me his classical. My mom and dad got him a Yamaha, and I started picking it up and playing a little bit. And he was like, "Man, you're getting really good," and I started playing it more than him. So one day I came home. I was in 6th, 7th grade. And my dad's, Mio, get over here. And I was like, shit. What did I do this time? He goes, the dog just shit in the house. You got to go clean it up. I was like, are you serious? He's never shit. Our dogs aren't even allowed in the house. Like our dog didn't shit in. I was like, okay, whatever. And I walk over there and they're watching me. And that's where my first guitar, my electric guitar they bought me was sitting there. So that was.
What was it?
It was a Sonata. I don't even know what that means
Wow.
or where they got it.
Isn't that a car?
Sounds like something like Bach Road or something, some classical masterpiece, but it wasn't. It was a piece of shit guitar. But when I got that, dude, that was epic moment. And then I finally saved up enough money to buy a Metal Zone. I don't know if you guys ever heard of a Metal Zone pedal.
Was that DOD or Boss?
Yeah.
Boss Metal
No,
Zone.
Digitech.
Was it Digitech?
Was it Digitech?
It's either Boss or I'm pretty sure it's Digitech. I don't think Boss makes that.
Boss had one though.
Was it called? It's like gray and it has orange writing.
Orange
It says
writing.
Metal
Yeah,
Zone.
yeah.
That thing.
It might have been Digitech.
Yeah, I thought that thing was amazing, and then now,
Oh,
I mean, you know what those are about now.
I had
Metal
I had
Zone
that same
pedal.
one, dude.
That's funny.
Yeah, but going back to the whole getting into the metal scene, and the only reason I bring it up is because Cole brought it up earlier. My first like initial, you would say in the metal area is probably Korn. It's my first concert. Korn, Papa Roach, Power Man 5000. It was cool. It was cool to go to, and I was like, oh shit, they fucking jammed. But the one that really took me in and fucking changed my life, and it's because of the whole, like you say, it's, some people just prefer all the screaming all the way through, and then some people want to hear somebody sing.
Yeah.
And I'm the guy that wants to hear somebody sing too. I like the screaming, but not
The whole time.
Yeah, not the whole time. And the one that brought me into that was Avenged Sevenfold. And
The first record, or
I got into them when Waking the Fallen came
yeah.
out, but I went back to sounding the Seventh Trumpet because I had to listen to it.
It's so good.
It is so fucking. Those two albums right there are fucking bad,
classics.
Bad. Like I'm like fuck.
Yeah.
But there was, I got into the whole Waking the Fallen and Unholy Confessions, but then, listening through the whole album from Waking the Fallen, there was a song called "I Won't See You Tonight."
Oh yeah.
Part 1, right? It's like fucking
Piano.
9 minutes long.
Yeah.
But fucking Shadows is fucking singing his ass off. He's like, sorrow, and I'm like,
Dang.
oh shit,
You
like
hit the note right there.
Leisure on the mic.
like he's fucking doing it, dude. He was doing it, and I was like, oh fuck. And then I'm listening to the song. Now I'm listening because now I understand all the words because I can hear them, and I'm like, oh, this is a deep ass song. You know what I mean? Like, it's really deep. So, I'm like, oh man, but then he has the screaming that he puts in there, and I was like, shit. But the one thing that was fucking tripped out, man, is going through the progression with Avenged Sevenfold. Damn, their fucking guitars are bad, man. Like,
Yeah.
fucking Sinister Gates gets
The Rev
off.
too, man. Their drummer.
The Rev was fucking
I mean-
ridiculous. I actually, no fucking lie, dude. I'm fucking working at a prison, and my partner fucking comes over and says, dude, have you fucking looked at the news online? And I was like, no. And he's like, dude, you need to go to your car right now and just look up anything that's Avenged Sevenfold. And he knows because I got the shit tatted on me.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, okay. But his face was weird. I was like, what the fuck's wrong with him,
Mhm.
I go out to my car. I'm fucking looking online, and I fucking just typed in Avenged Sevenfold and fucking, Google. And the first thing that came up was the Rev was dead. I swear, dude. I was like, I fucking literally started tearing up, bro. Like, I was like, dude, this is my fucking band.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I don't know if they're going to continue without this dude. That's how important he was to that band is I don't know. I don't know if they're going to continue to go. But I was like, went back inside, fucking had the fucking face of a ghost on me.
Mhm.
I fucking told him, damn, dude, what the and he's like, I know, dude. He goes, that's fucking crazy. So we go to his pad afterward. We're fucking drinking whiskey all fucking night, dude, just fucking listening to Avenged Sevenfold shit. And I'm just like, I don't know if they can keep going. You know what I mean? But they did. They ended up and
Well, they got Mike Portnoy.
yeah.
Mike
Mike
Dream
Portnoy.
Theater.
yeah,
That's a pretty good fill-in. I mean, if you're gonna get one.
Well,
you know.
That guy's okay at playing drums.
yeah, he did an okay job. He did
Well,
what he needed to do.
I kind of like it. I kind of like it too because when you look up the Rev story, that's one of his fucking idols.
idols,
You know what I
yeah.
mean? Like he looked up
Yeah.
to that dude.
That was huge for
Yeah,
the band.
so-
I think that was part of the reason why he wanted to be in it too.
Yeah, I think-
because he knew that. He
I
knew him
think
personally.
that it was he was the right guy
Yeah.
for the job at that time. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? There was
He pulled
nobody
them out
else.
of a dark place.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no doubt. But the band living that life of excess, it takes you, man. And so many, young artists and not just musicians, but like Heath Ledger, artists. Jimi Hendrix died at like 27.
Stevie Ray Vaughan,
Stevie Ray
man.
Vaughan.
Yeah.
Kurt Cobain, Lane Staley. it's a vicious motherfucker, man, being in the industry and around the, it's sex, drugs, and rock and roll. You know, and those guys, they can get sucked down a pretty dark hole. And it sounds like, the Rev, he's a casualty of that. And it sucks, man, that it goes down that way.
Yeah.
Because it's taken a lot of guys, way too soon. I remember hearing when Lane Staley died, I was driving down Rosedale Highway, and I think it was like 2002 when he died. And when they said that he'd passed away, man, I remember like tearing up, because Alice in Chains, that was huge in influencing me when I started playing music and just finding out just that a guy that young, he wasn't even 30 yet that had died. It's like, man, there's still so much life to live. He hadn't even really begun living because, he didn't have any kids or anything to kind of carry on his name. And, that's a different avenue of life, but he never got to experience that. He never got the opportunity to experience that. And that's the thing that I find most sad is that these guys are taken before they've really had a chance to live.
Yeah.
So
unfortunate, man.
It is, dude. And that just brought the mood of the podcast way fucking down. We're all fucking emo now.
No, but it's something that you have to talk about because it happens.
Yeah.
Every fucking day. We went to Metal Fest, California Metal Fest, and what was it like, dude? It was days
after Mitch died from suicide line.
Days before.
Yeah.
And then Mitch passed away on a motorcycle accident. You know what I mean? And we get over there. And dude, it was fucking somber, bro.
It was, dude.
Yeah,
there was a mood in that. It was a festival with how many freaking bands? There was like 100 bands.
Dude,
there.
his family was out there. They had a tent for him.
Yeah,
you know
it was
what I mean?
crazy.
Like Suicide Silence did not play, and it was just like, damn. But every fucking like all these bands that were going up there, they were giving shout out to him, And it's just something that fucking happens. It's not fucking nothing is ever for one particular reason. Shit happens, dude. Shit happens out there. And fucking it's just what you did up until this point that we got to, to enjoy,
Well, those guys in a sense are immortal. Their music lives on.
Yeah.
I listen to Alice in Chains all the fucking time, dude.
Yeah.
So those guys, they live on through their music. I just feel bad for their families and stuff. It's just
of course,
a bummer.
dude. Yeah.
Yeah, it's fucking shit happens, man. But they're all fucking great people.
Yeah,
all great.
Well,
people,
man, that if you didn't know, now you do.
Yeah,
that you're not here forever. You're not immortal. And the ride fucking comes to an end at some point. Tomorrow or 50 years from now, the ride's over at some point. So,
But while you're here, do great things, right?
Do great things.
Do what you want to do.
Do what you want to do because it's just a timetable. That's all it is.
Difference.
But do what the fuck you want. If you want to if you want to go buy a bike and fucking ride a bike. If it's something you want to do, that's what you want to do. You're not gonna die on a bike because of certain. That's where you're gonna die. That's just, your story was you're gonna die on a bike if you're gonna die on a bike. Like that's the way I believe. I just don't believe all kinds of crazy shit.
Yeah.
But I do believe in fucking people doing what the fuck they want. Because that's what this fucking place is about. This country, America, is about doing what the fuck you want. As long as you ain't breaking the fucking law.
No regrets.
This podcast too, man. We do what the fuck we want.
Yeah.
This is ours,
But you know what? We also fucking do breaks. Yes.
Oh shit!
Yes, we cannot.
Leisure's like, let's wrap up this fucking podcast.
Yeah,
so
because
Ted could be fucking Bob the Builder.
We can't run out of fucking sunlight, bro. Sunlight is what.
Are you
need.
watching that window right there?
Yeah.
Are you like, all right, where
I'm like,
I
okay,
think
it's
Ted,
bright enough where I don't have to hold up a fucking flashlight.
Yeah,
because
I told your bitch ass, I was like, you're gonna be holding the flashlight for me.
Yeah,
partner.
Yeah, motherfucks.
All right, dude. So
we will.
Dude, this is a special Wednesday episode. Wednesday.
Midweek. Hump day. It's hump day.
Oh, great.
All right. Cool. Hey, well, we'll have another one for you on Sunday. So
right on.
Stay tuned. Stay tuned, and we'll be back on Sunday with another delicious podcast.
Let's get out of here, guys.
All right, guys. Hey, it was fun. Hey, thanks again to Cole.
Yes.
Thank you, Cole, for coming
Thank
on
you.
our show, dude. Like we said, man, we're big fans, and people listening to the podcast, hey, share the word. You know, repost us. You know, hit the subscribe button. Go on. You know, we're on Instagram. We're on Twitter. We're Facebook.
Stitcher, everything.
Yeah, Stitcher, SoundCloud, iTunes. You know, so
The website.
YouTube,
The website is coming soon.
website coming soon. We're working on it.
T-shirts, right? T-shirts.
Yeah, we're
T-shirts?
working on T-shirts. So,
Yeah.
dude, big things to come in the future, guys.
Yes.
So, hey, we appreciate you coming along for the ride,
Marcus. I just want to say that name. Marcus.
All right, that's it for us. We're out.
All right.
Later.
Thank you guys.